Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me whether you're live or watching this later. Okay, my name is Emily Norris, teacher at EBN Music. I am a piano and voice teacher if you don't already know, and I thought it would be fun to do a live broadcast, a mini music class, and to give you a little glimpse of what happens in my lessons, my online lessons with my students. So today, we're going to learn about two very important people in music. And it's these guys right here. Okay, so this is one of my favorite props to use in online lessons. My favorite color is blue, so we're going to use blue today. And my students just love it when I draw because I can't draw. Okay, so I'm going to try really hard. Okay, so here is our characters we're going to learn today. There's two important characters in music, and this lady is called Miss Trebleclef. Miss Trebleclef, and Miss Trebleclef tells us to play the high notes. So any notes you hear that are high, that is Miss Trebleclef.
This is Mr. Bassclef, and he tells us to play the low notes. So any notes you hear that are low are Mr. Bassclef.
Okay, so we have Miss Trebleclef.
Mr. Bassclef.
See, I can't draw. Okay, and Miss Trebleclef is basically any note that's to the right of the piano. So I also have this camera here that I show in my lessons as well. So any note that, or any key that is above here, that includes the black keys as well, that is Miss Trebleclef. Shoop. Stand her right there. Anything below this key right here, black keys included, that is Mr. Bassclef. Okay, this key right here is a shared key between the two. Ba-doop. This is middle C. And middle C can be written in both Miss Treble and Mr. Bassclef. Okay, so all of these notes here, Miss Trebleclef.
All of these notes here, Mr. Bassclef.
Okay, so in my music class, especially with younger students, this is obviously quite simplified from the actual music, but is basically true. So Miss Trebleclef is the right hand with the high notes.
Mr. Bassclef
is the left hand with the low notes. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do an activity where you're going to listen. Oral skills are really important in music. Some students are really good with their eyes and they can read really well. Some students are really good with their ears and they can hear the music really well. And we want both to work together in music. Okay, so now, what is your favorite color? I'm going to guess. Is your favorite color green? If I guessed right, I'm a mind reader. Somebody's favorite color is green, I'm sure. Okay, so when we get an answer correct, we're going to use a green marker and put a star on our board. Okay, so remember, Miss Trebleclef.
Mr. Bassclef.
Bassclef. Okay, so is this Miss Trebleclef or Mr. Bassclef? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Did you say Miss Trebleclef? If you did, you got a star. There we go. In my online lessons, I often give stars. The student gets 5 stars throughout the lesson. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the stars really have two objectives. One is to let the student know the progress of the lesson. So they know if they're on star number 3, we're about halfway through the lesson. You know, first star, we're just beginning. So it cuts down on the student wondering, okay, when, is it over yet? I don't ever want them to ask that question necessarily. I want them to enjoy it. But this helps them visually see where we are in the lesson. The second objective is it's just a reward. They get extra stars if they have practiced extra that week or have practiced really well. Okay, so you get a star today for answering correctly because that is Miss Trebleclef. Great job. Okay, so let's listen to this one. Is this Miss Treble Clef
or Mr. Bass Clef?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you said Mr. Bass Clef, you are correct. High five. Virtual high five, I say. Great job. Okay, I'm gonna guess your favorite color is pink. I see it in your eyes. Okay, so here is our pink star. Great job. And this one was Miss Treble Clef, and this one was Mr. Bass Clef. Aural skills are important. We're going to make this a little bit harder, and I'm going to play the more mid-level keys. Often students can hear the exaggerated keys, so the really high notes, and they can hear the really low notes. But often if we get toward the middle, those are a little bit harder to tell. So I'm going to be in the middle of the keys, and let's see if you can guess Miss Treble Clef or Mr. Bass Clef. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you guessed Miss Treble Clef, you guessed correctly. I want to show you where I played. I played right here on middle C. I don't know if that was the exact melody I played, but nice. If you could hear that those were a little bit higher, you got it right, Miss Treble Clef. Some of my students can't believe that I have pretty much every color marker, and some of them have tried to test me. Miss Emily, do you have turquoise? Why, yes, I do have turquoise. They're always surprised when I have weird colors. Okay, so here's our turquoise star. It looks a lot like the green star now that I take a look at it, but great job. So that one is Miss Treble Clef. Nice. Okay, so again, in the middle of the piano, let's see if you can guess Miss Treble Clef or Mr. Bass Clef. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, almost tricked you there. That was Mr. Bass Clef. Let me show you where I played there. If you got it right, nice job. So I played right here. Right here, so it's right below that middle C. Nice job if you've got it. Let's try purple. Somebody's favorite color is purple, I'm sure. And there's our fourth star, which is now Mr. Bass Clef. Okay, so for our last star, we're gonna make it super challenging. Okay, I'm gonna play with both hands. Hello, hello, I'm so very glad to see you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you guessed both, you're right. My hands were playing in both Miss Treble and Mr. Bass Clef. Now my voice, if you heard my voice, it probably messed you up a little bit. My voice would have been in Miss Treble Clef. Oh, this one. But my hands were in both Miss Treble and Mr. Bass Clef. Let's use a red for that one. And nice job if you've got all 5 correct. And we are now at all 5 stars. Great job. Okay, so in my online lessons, I use this board a lot. I use the big board here. I also use my overhead camera, and I also screen share as well, which I didn't do today, but I know you'll be able to see that at some point. Okay, I would read your comments, although I don't know if I know how to read the comments. So if you made any comments, I can't respond, but I hope that you, I hope that I can answer later. So let me know if you have any questions about piano or voice lessons. I love teaching online, but as soon as I can get to in person, I'm excited for that as well. Okay, so I always end with a goodbye. Goodbye to you, goodbye to you, goodbye to you. I'll see you next time. Visit ebnmusic.com, ask me about lessons. Bye everybody, thank you.